All right, folks, there is something actually really strange happening on the street, and which is already, which by the way have been happening for the last, since I can even remember. But it's getting even more consistent and true these last couple of weeks as the market started selling off, especially the tech sector, all right, the growth stocks. And it's funny to look at how the professionals, the analysts, and the experts on the stock market actually are treating these kind of stocks compared to how they are treating AMC stock and kind of, dumping and making us look dumb by owning AMC stock. But the more you see this, the more you know that, it's just a matter of time. I wouldn't be surprised if this doubles by, I don't know when. Let's not use dates for now, all right? Because I think people will start going crazy and calling me crazy as well. So what I'm talking about is, you probably have heard a lot about Peloton stock lately a lot. Why? Because this has been trending in the news because there's been a change in the new CEO and suddenly it started gaining 30-40% on the last 2 days based on this news. But when you zoom out a little bit, this is Peloton stock. If you zoom out a little bit here, you will see that this is a stock that was trading at $155 a share in what? February last year. So in 12 months, fast forward, it lost almost 80%. Yeah, 84% before this whole news about the change in CEO and firing people. Why? Why is it funny that you didn't hear a lot on the news, especially mainstream media, excuse me, calling on investors to dump Peloton stock? Because as a matter of fact, if you look at the ratings, all right, this is kind of what the experts and the analysts on the walls on the street kind of give, the sentiment around any specific stock, all right? So they will give you specifically, currently, this is 14 buy to 14 hold, and only one analyst is calling to sell on Peloton stock and still have a price target higher than what it currently trade at, which is actually a 53 upside potential. Now, if you take 1 month ago, you can see it barely changes. We have 14 analysts calling on buying the stock, and then we have 15 on holding and only 2 selling. And it's kind of the same thing if you go back to a year with a price target averaging between $60 a share to $135 a share. So $60 a share, it is still way higher than what is actually trading here now. But when you look at AMC's actually also have been trading lately around the same kind of 80% on the downtrend. But every single day, you have mainstream media calling us dumb for owning and holding AMC stock. But why is that a different treatment? That's the word. Why do they treat AMC differently? Because of who is actually behind the main shareholders holding AMC. It's supposed to be the dumb money. But I guess when you look also at the institutional ownership on AMC, it gives you a better picture at who exactly from their world knows what is coming. I guess it's not a coincidence that we have the latest 13F filing showing that not only the dumb money is still holding on tight and adding even more to AMC now that the price dropped, and I guess it will continue to go this way now that we have some momentum. Well, look at First Horizon, for example. They added to 940% to the shares in AMC. The share sale is not crazy, but when you look at Korea Investment, for example, 68%, and they hold almost 193,000 shares. You look at Raymond James, up 16%. They hold 14,000 shares. You look at CIBC Asset Management. You look at Handelsbanken Fonder. This is a German or maybe a Swedish. You look at First Trust Advisors, 136% on the upside. That is in addition to what they already hold prior to the last quarter. You look at, you barely have a negative. And when you have a negative, it's really not that impressive. Maybe not for these guys, but they only had 16,000 shares. I guess my point is, because these guys are also part of, the smart money and know exactly what is at stake here, it's no wonder that they're adding a lot more to their positions when you compare it to the last quarter, because ultimately they know, based on all these current market conditions that we have been discussing over and over and over so far, that it is a no-brainer to be long and even add more shares here, because otherwise you regret it in the short term, because this was due for a bounce. This was due for a bounce. Nothing can go down indefinitely. So I guess only time will tell, but only time will tell if we were right, and I believe we already are. Just a matter of time.